mixed numbers to improper fractions? Raise your hand if you've done that. All right, so how do you do it? 1 2/3, it's called a mixed number. We've got to create it in, or change it into an improper fraction. And as you'll see, this will be necessary when we do division of fractions in this particular lesson. Nick, what did they teach you how to do it? Remember? Go ahead. Madison. How? Nope, not quite. I may have to teach this to you, or you may have forgotten. I know you probably heard it. I just don't know whether you've retained it. Carly, do you remember? Well, let's do that. What is the answer? And then maybe we'll work backwards. Yeah, you're right. It is 5/3. How do you do it? Okay, so there's an element of adding that top numerator. How would you do it, Abe? Yes. That's it. Okay, let me recap that first. The way I teach it is that once you see that denominator, that's not going to change. So it's going to be something over 3. I always take care of the bottom first. It's done. Okay? Then, ready? Do this with me because it's visual. It's the whole number. I'm going to make a little time sign. Times 3, which is, hold it up with fingers. Okay? And then watch, another arrow from here to here. This time, you're going to make a plus sign. What do you got? Add it. What do you got? 5? 5/3 is your answer. Okay? It's called an improper fraction. Sometimes I'll call it top heavy because the bigger number is up top. It's top heavy. Okay, so do 3 and 1/12. What do you get? What'd you get? Did you get 37/12? Okay, great. These now become fair game questions for review sheets. Cumulative reviews, you'll see them because they're basic mathematical foundations that you need to be able to do when we do divisions or division of fractions. So we're gonna practice it a lot. Yes. The way Carly did it is the way that I showed it to you. Technically, I did. I guess the way when Carly kind of did it, she took this number 3. How did you do it, Carly? I don't even know. Well, for A, I just recap it for me. Oh, okay. So she did 3/3 for 1, but it's harder to do. What about 3? 3 times 12 is the 36 plus the 1. That's the way that I just did it, right? She did it her way on A, but she did it my way on B. Right? Because if the whole number is 1, yeah, okay, 3/3, and then you added it together. But if you try to do it this way, your way with 3, this technically becomes 36/12 plus 1/12 equals 37/12. I think that's the longer way to do it. Whereas this is like the anti-common core. I'm just giving you the formula of what to do. Whole number times denominator plus numerator. Yes. If I ask you to do it your way, can you do something like this quickly? Because if you could do it and it makes sense for you, then do it. Maybe if I gave you something a little too hard. I probably made it. No, well, let me make it a little bit easier. Watch. Erase that. Do this one. 8 2/3. How are you doing? You're right. 26 over what? Okay, how'd you do it? Oh, that's okay. But are you still doing that whole number times the denominator and then adding the numerator? That's all that matters. Forget the squigglies then. If you know this times this plus this, that's all I care about. I'm just showing you with the squigglies, they're arrows showing you what you're multiplying. Okay? All right. I think we're good. This disappeared on me, so give me one second. I have to pause this. All right, so listen, the difference between lesson 2 and lesson 1, or what we're building on now, is that you're going to be dividing, rather than regular fractions, you're going to be dividing mixed numbers. But our goal will be to take that mixed number, change it into an improper fraction, and then we're right back to what we did in lesson 1 with modeling it, okay? And plus you now have this another element of there being a word problem associated with division of fractions. So let's read it out loud. Molly purchased 1 3/8 cups of strawberries. She eats 2/8 cups in a serving. How many servings did Molly purchase? Use a model to prove your answer. Look at it again. Do you see where the division is going to come into play? Once you have decided, well, okay, I've got a division word problem here. You've got to figure out what goes into what. How many what is in what? That's the key part, because if you have it reversed, you're going to wind up getting the wrong answer. Is it how many 1 3/8 in 2/8, or how many 2/8 in 1 3/8? It's a 50-50 shot. What do you think? How many think it's 2/8, and I'll put it here so you can see it, in 1 3/8? Raise your hand if you agree with that. Majority is correct. That is correct. Or, what is it as a division expression? Hopefully this doesn't confuse you, but Ryan. Don't change it just yet, though. Keep it the mixed number. 1 3/8 divided by 2/8. That's okay. Okay, so technically, and I'm going to put this over on the side, just so you can see it when we actually write it out as a division expression. That's what we're attempting to do. Well, we're going to get to that. All right, so step 1 is first to find out what's going into what. What are we dividing what by what? Now, like we did in the warm-up, we can't do division keeping these numbers as mixed numbers. We have to change them to improper fractions. So 1 3/8 becomes what? Improper. Ella, I'm going to you. Yep, you got it. I'm convinced. You're fine. Great. So now we'll go back to what Ryan said. Ryan, why don't you do it now? So now that we've changed it, how many what and what? And you are right back to what you did in lesson 1. But I'm going to show you the number line model as well. No size. The number line is actually going to work out better as we move throughout. You'll see it's not as bad as it seems. Yes. Yeah. It's a lunch thing. I don't know. What did you eat for lunch? Tell the world what you ate for lunch. Egg salad is what it is. Egg salad makes you a different person. So the all-important question. Let's see if you're really smart. I scrolled up. So here's the million-dollar question. How many boxes do you need? At least. I'll even pose it that way. At least. But you got to get the at least number to be accurate. It's literally making you think out of the box. It's just literally out of the box thinking. Jen. Thank you. I mean, she's right. She killed two birds with one stone. She saved somebody from getting stuck with a thumbtack, and she got the right answer: 12 boxes. You need 12 boxes. Do you see why? No, she's not that good. She's not Superman. But she's close. Okay, make 12 boxes. Don't make them too big. You need room. Count those for me. My little recorder keeps disappearing. Did I have 12? Okay, make 12. It's one of those instances where every time I write, my little recording thing disappears. That's not good. Stay. What is each box worth, even though we're not going to put it in there? By the way, Jen, you get give the candy from the top drawer for knowing that there's 12 boxes for this. I thought that was a higher level answer. What is each box worth? Alexa. Right, everything's going to be 1/8, but we're not going to put it in. Just keep in the back of your mind that that's what the value of each box is. All right, right back to what lesson 1 is. Shade how many? Rando. Okay, good. Shade 11. Everybody do that. All right, we've shaded 11. We have to group by how many? Nicole. Okay, let's do it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a partial group. That's my answer. 11/8 divided by 2/8 is what? Connor. How many full groups do we have? You do? 5. And how much of 5 and ready? Common mistake. Ready? Common mistake. How many boxes are shaded? That's all I had to do. Just, how many boxes shaded? Oh, 1 out of how many? 2. 1 out of 2. 5 and 1/2. Okay? 5 and 1/2. That's how many servings she can get. That's how many 2/8 servings she'll be able to get. She'll get 5 and 1/2 servings, which is awkward to say, oh, 5 and 1/2 of 2/8 servings, but that's what your answer would wind up being. All right, let me pause this because we're going to skip. Our number line has to be divided up into counting by 8s. Do it. What's the fraction equivalent for the whole number 1? What does this become then? 9/8, which is equivalent to 1 1/8, but let's keep it improper because we need it anyway. I'm going to go further than what I need because that's going to be a partial leap. I'm just going to put it up at the top. We're dividing what by what? What by what? Do it as an improper, yes. By 2/8. I want you to make this. We did this in lesson 1, but we're going to do this again. This number is my go-to. Remember that from lesson 1? This is my who remembers. Will. What was the terminology I used for that second number? Sort of. We do that when we were doing the number bar or the fraction bar. Go to and leap by. Where am I going to? Right, I want you to make a line at 11/8. That's my go-to. Leap by. Mate. Leap in 2s, starting from 0. There's a leap by 2. Count with me. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you can even see it. It's halfway. This go-to is halfway between 5 and 6. 5 and a half. Not too bad, right? Just got to practice it. It's new. But you'll see in the long run, I think you're going to like it better because it's less writing and less shading. And again, you don't have to. You want to stay with fraction bars, that's fine. But I'm going to expose you to number lines and then let you make a fair decision what you like better. Just give this a chance for a minute. Just give it a chance and see. At the end of lesson 2 or even 3, you can make a decision what works best. All right, so again, we had the same answer of 5 1/2. Okay, now imagine Molly's friend Frankie purchased 1 3/8 cup of strawberries, but he eats 3/4 cup per serving. How many servings can he get from the original purchase? Now, you'll see we have another little leap to make here. There's another little layer to this that's going to prevent us from solving it right away. First, let's do the how many blank in what. Don't change anything yet, though. From the original question, we're trying to figure out how many what is in what. Come on, don't tune out. This is where you got to do the work. Quince. Right, it's how many 3/4 are in, say it again, Jen? All right, 1 3/8. Or as a division expression, divide what by what? Sebastian? Correct. Any improper fractions, or I'm sorry, any mixed numbers have to be changed to improper fractions. Well, 1 3/8 has not changed. It's still what is an improper fraction? I got 3 hands up. Come on, guys. Do the work, man. You don't even have to do the work for it. It's already done. It's the same number as it was in part A, or example 1. Look back if you're not sure. Well, it's 11/8 still. Hasn't changed. So technically, we're trying to do how many what and what now that we've changed it to an improper fraction. Great. But we have a problem. We have an issue. There's something else we still need to do in order to figure out the answer. Do you see where the issue is? All right, Christian, what's the issue? They are not the same. Let's write that down. I know. What can we do to solve the problem? Ryan.
Well, 4 goes into 8 twice. So you could also give up the numerator times 2 to get 6 8.
Exactly. We could take what we did like we did back in lesson 1. You got to scale one of those up. So we're going to take 3/4 and scale 3/4 up. And that's going to make a common denominator of 10, 8. And that's what we want. We always want common denominators whenever we can. Otherwise, we can't model it. God bless. So 1 3/8 again is 11/8. And then what does 3/4 become in the form of 8s? Eleanor? 6/8. We are 6/8. Everything is good. So now if we rewrite it as a think statement, how many 6/8 are in 11/8? Let's go ahead and do it as a number line. Each line represents what fraction? Nicole. Don't forget the first line is 0. I've seen that mistake made. First is 0. We start 0. Okay, ready? 1/8. If you want, watch how we could cheat a little bit more. Tell me if this works for you. Since they're all in 8s, 2/8, but I'm not going to put the denominator. Is that okay? Or, you know what, put it. It's up to you. If you want to leave the denominator off, you can, because they're all in 8s. I'll put it in to keep it visual, okay? That's fine. I don't want to confuse you. If you want to leave it as a fraction, you can. Okay, I'm all the way to 12/8. Now, without cheating, don't read part D. Leap by. You cheated. Leap by. Brando. 6, not 3, because we got to change 3/4 to 6/8. Where's my go-to? Once I get that go-to, I want to nail it down. Madison. That hasn't changed. Make a big line where I got to go to so I don't forget. But now I got to leap in 6s or leap by 6/8. 1. Now you got to really think. It's 1 and something. See how smart you really are. If you get this, then I know you're going to be fine at number lines. Think. You got to really think. If it helps you right now, visualize them as boxes. This is where all the kids, tell you what, I'm just curious. Is there a blank piece of paper that you have?
Yeah.
I don't want to get the marker boards out, but if you write it down big and hold it up, I want to see if you got it. Got loose leaf?
Yeah.
Get loose leaf real quick. I'm just curious. I want to hear from you. I want to know what the answer is.
We write it down. So obvious.
But don't hold it up yet. We'll hold it up and set. Don't hold it up yet. I would do this with marker boards, but it takes too long. No, don't be. All right, write it down. 3 seconds. It's like Final Jeopardy. 2, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. I gotta say that I'm impressed. More of you are getting it right than wrong. The answer is 1 and 5/6. You got 8. Let me see. All right. What is that, Brando? Okay. Let me explain why it's not 8 and why it's 5/6. All right. If you got it wrong, tune in. Watch. If I were to make this entire leap, if it were to be an entire leap, it's a leap by how much? Say it. Something out of 6. However, I have only leaped, or my go-to is only 5 leaps from where it needs to go. I've only leaped 5/6. My go-to is 5/6, the full distance. So if it helps you to figure out partial leaps, this 6 is always winds up what your leap by is. Then the actual boxes from this last leap to the go-to, watch, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 5 spots to the go-to out of a possible 6. And don't forget, this was one entire group. So it's 1 and 5/6. Some of you are going to get this concept right away, and some of you are going to take some time with it. Okay? You got to kind of think about it and reason through it. Yes. Well, if you want to go back to fraction bar, you can, but just not yet. Okay? I've got to expose you to this a little bit more because then you're going to come to Connor, throw it out. Go throw it out. Right now. If you want to use fraction bars, that's fine, but I want to expose you to number line a little bit more before we do that. Right. I know, we have not much time left. So why don't I lay out what you got to do? However, that page 14 and 15 in lesson 1 has to be priority. I do have to hit pause. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, but let me hit pause. Meals. Meals. Can you hit pause for me? Can you get up that high?